right. Good morning. Hello, everybody. 58 minutes after 9 o'clock on this 12th day of March. Friday the 13th is tomorrow. Are you guys superstitious at all? May have a bit of an eerie feeling to it because we got some wind coming back. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few moments. Share your comments as always. Jedediah is ready to go with that Snow NATO. Hello, Olivia. Hello to Chris. Adam's on here as well. Saw Carrie, I think, on here as well a few moments ago. And Wavy is now chiming in with the alert there for the blog post. All right. Hello, everyone. I am Wave Meteorologist Brian Good. Welcome to the SnowTALK version today of the blog. We may have to split it again tomorrow and go back to Snow and Storm Talk. We'll see. It's a hybrid version again. And then next week overall will likely be more Snow Talk days than Storm Talk the way it's looking. So, yes, on the severe side of things, we discussed it, I don't know how many times, on how this would likely play out. There were a lot of ifs and wins and yada, yada, yada. You guys know how that played out, where one part affects the other. And when we saw that the storm activity was a little odd in the morning and how it materialized, then we got the hangover clouds, if you will, the ones that move in, kind of like a canopy of clouds from thunderstorms in Tennessee, then that pretty much wrote the storyline for the rest of the day. Things really tamed down, and then we were out of it. So overall, I think the gradient wind was the bigger issue yesterday, where we had gusts of 55 to 56 miles per hour in the area, including in the metro. So that in itself was probably the most impressive part of the entire day, was that round of wind. All right, but as always, we lucked out. Hopefully no one complains that they did not get the nastiest of the storms in their backyard. Some do. I don't know why that's the case, but I'm glad everyone's okay. And now we gear up for what is next. And yes, we do have a chance for more severe weather, but it comes with a big question mark with it, or I should say an asterisk, because I do think it'll be a multiple faceted type setup as we head into the weekend here. I promise to explain. So let's start with the snowboard. Boy, I haven't done this in a while. Had to dust it off a little bit. Two items on the board here for today, and one of those being the actual front that'll have thunderstorms with it as we head into your Sunday night. We'll talk about that briefly. Then go into snow showers. My voice is not hanging on today, sorry. Snow showers, the times we into Sunday night into early Monday, and then a small break before we get a clipper that may bring some snow. I think right now, if it's going to bring anything, it's probably going to be a light snow that would go to rain. Minor stuff. I do not see a snowstorm, at least right now. I do not see a snowstorm in this kind of a setup. But boy, it's going to be a big reminder. Winter is not done with us, right? All right, here's a live look at our cameras. This is, let's see, we got downtown. Cameras here, looks like they're already triggered. So we got KFC Yum Center, one shot. Paris-Town in one. We've got the New Albany area looking upstream of the Ohio River. Pretty sunrise there, right, in the distance. And looking at Jeffersonville and downtown as well. So very nice, pretty day. And this is on par for what we actually would expect a little more for March standards. Sunshine, temperatures in the 50s. This is what March is supposed to be like. Not all the days we've had before. I know the warm days are nice, don't get me wrong, but they lead to problems, right? This is a very much a serene, peaceful setup here today. So I hope you get out and enjoy, because it is really nice. Numbers outside, 39. Sounds cold, but these numbers will slowly add another 10 degrees to them, and the wind's not overly strong. So as long as you stay into the sunbeam, as I always say, you'll be nice and cozy here today. Wear the jackets for sure. I don't think you need a full-on winter coat, but you will need that next week. But for today, nah, I think we are just with the jacket. Otherwise, nice, easy going, right? For your Friday, the issue will be wind that'll be coming our way, as you'll see here in a second. So we got the blue sky in the area today, all the severe weather that continues with this front. And we really saw some of the weaker portion of the front right in the Ohio Valley. It was active north and northwest and southwest of it. In our section, though, we did not have as much action, only because we had a lot of interference from all different parts influencing, especially the Nashville storms last night that fed into it. That will be typically a thunderstorm, not really killer, but it will taper down the threat in a dramatic way. And it did just that when they formed yesterday afternoon. So a lot of question marks on it, as always the case. Models did, and they did okay. It was a very congested system, so it was full of challenges. But the one thing that stood out from the very beginning of the system until now with our area is there was nothing that looked overly impressive as far as a severe weather outbreak. Some severe weather, yes, slight risk, made sense. But to get anything higher than that on levels, there really was nothing that showed that potential was there. It was all around us. So once again, we lucked out. We don't get to see that often. I'm glad we were able to for this one, and I feel for those that did not and unfortunately lost their lives. So while we are gloating here today that we did all right, other areas of the country are doing some cleanup and dealing with some loss today. So got to be thinking of them. Thunderstorms continue for the East Coast. Right now it is going to be, it looks like, is that Charleston? Let me zoom in. Get all the way. Okay, not quite to Charleston yet, but it's in the Midlands area and heading to the upstate, right around Columbia. So I-95 corridor, tornado warning right over Columbia, South Carolina. That may hold a bit longer, and then maybe some sea breeze interaction may taper those down. You don't get big storms. When I worked in Charleston, I didn't get tornado warnings very often. Certainly near the coastline, they were all inland when you had your tornado warnings. And the strongest ever, I think, on record was like maybe a 1, maybe a 2 that's ever been recorded in South Carolina, because it just isn't very common. But anyway, very active for them, for the Midlands and Low Country today, and perhaps even into the Grand Strand there of South Carolina. All right, back here at home again, we are enjoying a nice little clear setup that we'll have to enjoy again tomorrow. We'll have a decent amount of sun at times tomorrow. The only thing is we'll end up with a lot more wind coming back into play for tomorrow. And this is the system that's going to do it. It's now located into the northern parts of North and South Dakota. It is heading basically due east. It does not have enough moisture to scoop up because this one on the eastern seaboard has taken so much out of our air. There's not a lot for this to work with. The farthest south I could see the showers may make it would be perhaps Indianapolis. That's about it. Otherwise, just a lot of wind tracking through Friday morning, Friday night across the Great Lakes. We'll be just close enough to us to get some wind. In fact, wind alerts are already out. High wind warnings are out for all of South Dakota, just about all of North Dakota, and same for areas of Iowa. So, I mean, a lot of wind coming with this. And look at all the alerts. They already have the at least high wind watches that are out a little further out downstream just because of time frame. Once the system gets a little closer, those likely get upgraded to high wind warnings. And as far as the wind advisories go, they do go up to our Indiana counties, and we do have one county in Wave Country, that is Carroll. We have a lot of you in Carroll. Carroll County under a winter or a wind advisory for Friday. Now, our criteria for an alert day typically is once you get over 40 miles per hour. They may go with an advisory. The Weather Service may. We'll see how they coordinate with Indianapolis. They may just include only the southern Indiana counties. I think it'll be a windy day. I don't know if we're going to get frequent surges enough to meet the criteria, but I think it's possible either way. Whether they have a wind advisory out or we have an alert day out, doesn't matter. Just prepare for wind. Any outdoor work you were hoping to get done tomorrow, not the best of days. If you want to stain the deck on the porch, thinking, oh, it's nice weather, I'm going to try to get this done before I get into the weekend, not a good day to be painting. It'll be splattering everywhere, all over the place. So just one of those days. It's going to be tough to do a lot outside. So it'll be a pretty day. I just can't get a lot accomplished because the wind's going to be very annoying tomorrow. And don't bother fixing your hair. Yeah, don't worry about it. Ponytail day is, I think it's what Twana says, right? Ponytail day. Just do that and just enjoy your Friday. After it moves on by, then we gear up for the next system that will be coming our way. Here is, let's see, I threw in a future cast here on this, just to show you what the sky condition will look like as we into Friday. Again, a few clouds here and there. Not much happening. Not much happening. Very, very quiet. Saturday, we do increase some high-level clouds. And I know we have the St. Patrick's Parade coming up on Saturday. I will say that if we end up with more of a high overcast than sunny, yes, it's probably going to be in the 50s and it will feel maybe even a bit cooler. But if you get a little bit of sun, you'll easily bounce up to 60 to 62. The sun's in charge on Saturday on how warm we get. But if you've been to the St. Patrick's Parade there in the Highlands, you know that I don't think it really matters for a lot of people. They're there to have fun, and everyone kind of goes in and out of all the different restaurants and bars anyway along that strip there and to Barton Road. So you won't even notice probably that it's sunny or not. But what I can tell you, it's not going to rain. It's not going to snow. And if you wear a jacket with your outfit, and you'll have a blast. You'll have a blast. And actually, one of the calmer St. Patrick's parades we've had in a while. So we'll take that. We'll take that because other years, it's a tough period to get nice weather. It seems like anyway for the parade every year. So if we're getting this is what we've been dealt with for this year. Let's count our blessings and say, okay, this works. This works. Then we get into Sunday, and that's where things will begin to change. First off, here the wind gust on Friday. Again, 45, maybe up to 50 miles per hour. The more north you are, the higher the gust. The more south you are, the lower you will be, closer to 35. This is a north-south wind flow setup from one end of wave country to the other. So our Indiana counties, again, a little more prone to a wind advisory getting issued because of that. Let's see, what do I have after this? Oh, here, let me show you the parade, and then we'll get to the next part. Here's the parade outlook. Again, we'll at least go for a touching 60 briefly, but I would say dress for 52 tomorrow, and you'll be comfortable if we get into the 58, 60 degree range. You'll be comfortable, but dress for at least 52, whatever you think you need to wear for that. Dress in layers, perhaps. Something like a light jacket or something you pull the sleeves up on if you get a little warm, because you'll be walking around a bit. So keep that in mind. All right. Any questions? Any questions? Some will go in and out of consciousness. Well, that's part of St. Patrick's Parade there. It is a very close environment for that parade. So be careful. I mean, the parade route and where people stand to watch, it's very close. So if you're bringing your kids, please keep an eye on them. Don't get them too close to the roadway there. It's not a parade that has a lot of room to work with. It is the Highlands after all, but it is an absolute blast. The last time I remember going, it's been a while, I was hanging out with Christy Dutton, and we had a blast all day. So it is a good time. So I highly recommend, if you ever have not been to the parade or you're new here, it is a fun one to go to. Absolutely fun. Any questions on the weather side? I can try to, let's see, everyone's talking about the wind from yesterday. Yep. Very true, very true. You need the warm back, Judy. Well, hang tight. It's coming back sooner than you think, too. But so is the colder. Okay, let's move on to what the game plan is for the second half of the weekend. Now, let me say this, that as we get into Sunday, the first 6 hours of daylight on Sunday actually doesn't look that bad. I think we'll have some sunshine. The wind will start to ramp up again, but it'll be warming fast. We should be in the 70s not long after the 12-hour on Sunday. So it'll be a windy but a warm, pleasant day. Those that have to services early on Sunday, you're going to come out. You're like, oh, this is nice. What a great Sunday. You're like, let's go fire up the grill and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. And I know you're going to be tempted to want to do that. And if you do an early afternoon grilling or lunch period, yeah, okay, you may get lucky. Unless it's a charcoal grill, then don't do it. It's going to be too windy for that. But for if you have a gas grill, yeah, you'll be fine. But yes, enjoy the first part of the day. And if you want to enjoy a warm setup, don't sleep in on Sunday. You're going to have to get up early. So you have some time to enjoy this, because if you sleep in too late, unfortunately, we're going to become cloudy, overcast, and then a wall of rain will be approaching as we get into the evening. This says 2 a.m. It'll be approaching. I think this is going to be faster than what you see here. This is a very strong storm system. They tend to roll out their fronts sometimes 6 hours faster than what the models say. So I think as you head into the evening, prepare for a wall of rain and thunderstorms. Now, the question we've got is how strong will they be? Still too early to know on how many ingredients will be at play, because it is only Thursday and we're talking about Sunday evening. So we need a little bit more time, at least another day. And we should get enough data on how that will play out. But this is a very dynamic front. This is not like we have gone through the past few times here. You get a line of showers and storms, a severe threat, moves on by. Yeah, you cool down a bit. Even like today, you cool down a bit, you're back to sunshine, and it's over. This one's different. This one literally is spring ahead of it and winter behind it. And it is going to cross and jump over from one season to another in about 2 hours' time. And if you're out and about during that 2 hour window, boy, you are going to feel it. So just kind of a heads up on that. All right, so let's start with Futurecast here, showing how the band of rain will be approaching as we head into Sunday evening. Strong gusty winds, some thunderstorms possible, and again, we'll look at that in a second. But then it rapidly changes over to a burst of snow, where the temperatures drop dramatically. I think as soon as the wind shift line hits, we're going to have a southeast wind shifting around west northwest. Almost instantaneously as the front passes. That should allow for, at the minimum, a 20-degree drop that will happen. Now, if you're in the 70s, that'll get you down to the 50s. Okay, that's still not bad. But the drop will keep happening. So it'll keep falling, then into the 40s, then into the 30s, and in some cases, 20s by the time you wake up on Monday morning. And the wind will remain strong, so you'll get wind chills. Snow showers, yes, a burst of snow initially right in behind the rain, but the rain, the ground's going to be wet. That cuts down on sticking snow. The ground's going to be wet and the ground's going to be warm. Also cuts down on sticking snow. The wind's going to be strong. Cuts down on sticking snow. It's going to be blowing around. So there's not a lot of promise here on getting accumulating snow when it switches over. It's visibility that I think will be the main issue here, as the snow will create that Star Wars effect, hyperspace. You may have that issue in traveling. So visibility looks to be the main issue. But as we get colder into Monday morning, well, okay, at that point, while the ground is warm, we got to watch bridges and overpasses. They don't have dirt underneath them. So because of that, they can cool to the air temperature. And if we're looking upper 20s to around 30, yes, some areas of slick spots can develop early on Monday. And I think we'll continue to have falling temperatures throughout the entire day, by the way, on Monday itself, with cold and blustery, snow flurries, flying, snow globe effect, whatever on Monday. It's just going to be one of those days. So prepare for that. On the severe side of this, let me take this full screen. This is CSU. It started off with a very small signal the other day. Now it has grown to a much more impressive slight risk potential all up and down the front. Storm Prediction Center just now got in on the action. They highlighted it for the Mississippi Valley area, although they noted that the next update may very well have to stretch it into Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio in the next update, which will be later tonight. Wouldn't surprise me, given this is a whole front here, right? So I think there will be at least a chance of some strong storms up and down the front, but that is going to be very quick. These storms are going to move fast across the region as we head into your Sunday night. So the severe threat is going to be in and it's going to be out of here. I mean, just you'll be able to watch it probably at your window, breeze on by. Some are almost last night. They move fast, right? So there will be a severe risk, but I think the bigger shock to the system is going to be the temperature drop and the snow that'll fly. And yes, I did look at the matrix, and the matrix does have a very solid signal for this. Almost all the ensembles are filled in, but they're all relatively light. They're all gray. So it shows the minimal impacts this would have. Minor issue. A pinch of snow. Yes, I know there are hints down the road at the end of March, because there's another Arctic blast that tries to drop down. I don't know if it will be one that that will make it in our area or not, but we'll worry about that later. But at least confidence is pretty high, at least getting snow showers for Sunday night and Monday. All right, here is the Euro showing the same thing, except here's the Clipper a couple days later that moves in on Wednesday. GFS and Euro very similar on this. Euro dries it out slightly, but likely too much. If it arrives in the morning, I think this could be a light snow type of setup. If it arrives too late in the day, it'll be rain. Time of day matters, and we'll just trend it and see how it goes. After it moves by, the big story then becomes the large ridge in the western United States. I mean, we're talking about, for the first time ever, several days in a row of temperatures over 105 to 110 degrees for Phoenix, Death Valley area, big time heat wave that you normally would not get into the middle of summer. This is going to be bad news for their setup for wildfire season to get this much heat this early out of the gate. They do not want to see this. And this is going to lock for a minute. So what does that mean for us? Well, it means more of those colder shots of air are going to keep dropping down. But because of how large this heat dome is, the colder shots of air may be too far east of us. So for now, I think we may be out of the zone of anything really cold or anything wintry on snow. It just depends on how large this becomes established. If it's a little more west and southwest, a little weaker, if you will, then maybe the storm track for colder attacks may come back into play at the end of March. But this is the boss. In charge is the heat dome. I don't know yet how it's going to play out. I do know there's going to be cold pieces dropping down, but if that heat dome is in charge there, then it doesn't really matter. Okay, enough on that. Let's get right into 10-day and see where we stand on this. Get some of your questions. All right, we got our 52 today. We've got our 62 for tomorrow, and then there's the setup for the weekend, our alert day. And again, we'll watch the strong storm side. It will be a very windy day, and then we have a major temperature drop and a little bit of snow. And then wind chills, again, a chance to mention this, the wind chill for Tuesday morning, not Monday morning. Monday morning is going to be cold, but the wind chills for Tuesday morning, St. Patrick's Day itself, are averaging about 5 to about 9 above for Tuesday. So if you don't have to work Tuesday, just stay in bed. If you have to venture out and the kids got to get out to school, make sure they are dressed like the little boy on Christmas Story. We do warm back up at least toward the first day of spring. All right, any questions? That was a lot. But we've been so focused on severe weather, I just want to at least give you an idea of the storyline that is so hard to explain on TV. What'd you say, Adam? 75 to 18 is fantastic. Yeah, it's a big one. Gary wants that big heat dome our way. Hey, be careful what you ask for. We know those days are coming. It's just a matter of when. Very hot and dry for them. So again, that's going to be the bad news for them. They had, yes, a late season snow, but overall they're still running behind on snow. So they depend on it to get through these heat waves for their water supply. So this will be a big story, likely growing in for the West Coast in the coming days and weeks, months ahead. But at least this will cut down our severe weather, right? You get a big dome of heat out west. Yeah, the flow is north into our area, not south. So the Gulf of Mexico is closed for business. So because of that, we are not going to get a lot of storm systems with severe weather. Storm Prediction Center is going to have a nice little vacation, and storm chasers are going to be bored. They may go chase snow or chase heat waves. I have no idea. But it is going to be a substantial break that will be developing for severe weather. So to me, that's not a bad thing. There was a lot coming at us here the last few weeks. It's a stop, reset, calm down a bit, and then we'll get back on track, I'm sure, right after that, as usually the case. All right. It is Pi Day. It's my brother's birthday. You're right, Gary. My brother's birthday is on the 14th. So it is Pi Day. All right, everyone good? All right. 4 times 6 minus 1. 4 times 6 minus 1 if you're good. 4 times 6 minus 1 if you're good. Tomorrow's blog, I'm not sure if I'm going to be on in the morning or not, to be honest, because we have that new show Olivia will be on. So if there's too much to talk about in the morning, I may delay the blog till the afternoon. We'll see. We'll work on it. I was looking for some 23s. We got some 23s in there. David got it. Angie's got it on there. All right. Jordan, that's what I was thinking of, was Jordan. All right. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. Again, enjoy today. It's not a bad day. It's just cool. Nothing bad. You can handle this. And hang on tight to that win tomorrow. I'll see you guys coming up on midday at 11 a.m. and we'll just see how this all trends. But be prepared to stay cozy and warm Sunday night. Watch some TV as the drastic change in the front begins to arrive. All right. Take care, everyone. I will see you guys coming up. Wait, was the stream even on? I just realized. Did I hit the button on accident? I may have accidentally turned the stream off. So if you're watching on the app and like, where did you go? My apologies. My finger may have accidentally hit that button. Oh, it always does that. Okay, anyway, you guys take care. I'll see you soon coming up on the flip side. Take care, guys.